Cities Skylines II is coming out this September, and Paradox Interactive have done such a great job releasing new information each week about Cities Skylines II. This week, they highlighted city services, and they also listed some new features as well as how city services will operate in the new game. Let's go ahead and dive into the devlog. The devs highlighted how in City Skylines you wanted to evenly spread the services across your city to provide your citizens the best service possible. Although now, in Cities Skylines II, you'll want to understand the services needed and fulfill them by providing suitable services as well as activities. This means you don't want to have multiple different hospitals spread across your map. You'll just want to have a couple hospitals spread across your city that are fully upgraded, which I'll get into service upgrades later on in the video, but that's all that really needs to be said for now. They also stated that services will no longer directly influence land value. Their influence is only indirectly through businesses and citizens. In return, their happiness will increase land value. Services will roughly stay the same in Cities Skylines II, although there have been a few new additions to services and some new services altogether. So let's go ahead and take a look into each service and what's changed or how they're going to operate. First up is road services, which has been mentioned before in the road tools devlog a couple weeks ago. They highlighted road maintenance, which is going to be crucial for traffic to flow properly and for general upkeep as well as road accidents. I'll link the devlog below as well as the short that I made about that devlog. Electricity will be a required service for any city at any time. Citizens can tolerate a short blackout, although they will want to move out of your city if these blackouts continue or exist for long periods of time. Cities Skylines II will have various amounts of different power types such as green energy, wind turbines, solar power, geothermal power, hydroelectric power, fossil fuels, or even nuclear power. I'm sure with all these different energy types, you'll be fine with providing power to your city. Another crucial point of your city is water. Fresh water is needed for your city to not only grow, but to be efficient. The lack of fresh water will drive citizens away as well as halt businesses. Fresh water can be provided roughly the same way in City Skylines. You can still pump water as well as use water towers. Sadly, with water towers in City Skylines II, you'll need to find ground deposits to place water towers on versus just being able to place them anywhere in City Skylines. While providing fresh water is a crucial point for your city, you also need to get rid of sewage. Depositing sewage will roughly stay the same as it did in City Skylines, although they did say they'll be expanding on this next week. Citizens don't only just need water and sewage, they also have to be happy, which to be happy, they have to be healthy. So, to make them healthy, you have to provide healthcare services, such as medical clinics and hospitals. And these will operate somewhat like they did in City Skylines, providing healthcare to citizens and providing emergency care to citizens who can't get to the healthcare themselves. The citizens' overall health is influenced by a number of things, such as air pollution, backup garbage, previous illnesses or injuries. You'll need to take these into consideration when building services for your city. Also, as well as healthcare, you'll have to provide death care, which you can do so by building cemeteries or crematoriums. Speaking of garbage management, landfills did receive an upgrade. You can now, instead of having to spam down different landfills, you can zone an entire landfill. Garbage processing has an effect on your city. Trash pollution in the air and surrounding areas will be polluted and causing sickness if it's near buildings, water sources, or anything like that. There is also a new addition to Cities Skylines II for garbage management, and that's recycling. Recycling plants sort through trash to find useful resources for manufacturing in your city. This will hopefully boost your manufacturing and overall profit in your city. Education will benefit your city in multiple ways. The higher educated your citizens are, the less waste, energy, and water they will consume. They can also attract new citizens and businesses to move into your city. All you need to do is place various schools across your city, upgrade those schools, and your citizens will attend. Educating your citizens will not only take a load off your services, it will also boost your economy. Enough for worry in your city is fires and disasters. You can place firehouses and stations to reduce the possibility of fires and respond to any fires that break out in your city. As well, using an early disaster warning system will allow your citizens to seek shelter in emergency shelters. A new addition in Cities Skylines II are fire helicopter depots and fire watchtowers. These will prevent and respond to any wildfires that break out. With all this, your city will be prepared for any disaster of any kind. On top of disaster prevention, you'll want to ensure crime rate is low. Having police stations and police headquarters will drive down crime rate, as well as allowing police patrols to encourage citizens to abide by the law. You will also have administration buildings that will provide positive effects to your city. As well as that, you have transportation, which has been discussed already in a previous devlog and a previous video I've made, which I'll link both below for you. Citizens also desire to be happy. Parks and Recs fill that desire with leisure, which includes shopping, dining, city parks, plazas, sport venues, tourist attractions, and landmarks. A new feature in Cities Skylines II will be telecommunications. Telecommunications provides citizens access to the internet, and each citizen will take up 1 GB per second, which will need to be accounted for with the telecom towers and server farms. This will increase not only the profitability of business, but give citizens easy access to leisure via the internet. Alongside the new addition of telecommunications, we're also getting a bigger addition, service upgrades. In Cities Skylines, you place a service, then once you need another, you place it again. Although now, in Cities Skylines 2, you can expand and upgrade almost every service building. Upgrading a service building will expand its reach and be able to help more citizens. These expansions might also add extra functionality to the service buildings. For example, you can add a children's clinic to an elementary school, improving the well-being of the students, as well as adding an extension wing would provide more capacity for students. Service upgrades will cost money and in most cases add upkeep for the building. There are different types of service upgrades, such as operational, which don't change the look of a building but add functionality or statistical changes. On the other hand, extensions are upgrades that are connected to the building, and these upgrades will add capacity, output, and range. You also have sub-buildings, which are separate buildings that add storage, capacity, or even new functions for the building altogether. In Cities Skylines 2, service upgrades will have different effects. Passive service effects, capacity, and magnitude. Passive effects will either be a positive or a deducing effect. Capacity will boost the capacity of a service building, and magnitude will increase the coverage of that service building. A big part in Cities Skylines 2 will be outside connections. You can trade services with outside connections such as water, electricity, or sewage. This will allow you to save a little bit of money up front on exporting sewage, importing water or electricity, but later on the line it's not going to be as effective. Citizens will also go outside for services that you don't provide, such as healthcare. But you will also have police and fire respond from outside connections if you don't have it available in Cities Skylines 2 is shaping out to be an amazing game, and the devs are putting out so much information each week to keep us informed on what to expect in the new game, and I can't wait to see what they put out next week. I also want to thank you all for watching. If you guys liked the video, please give it a like and a subscribe. If you guys believe I missed anything, put a comment down below, and I'll definitely take a look at it. Thank you.